unexpected man began showing up to the Goonie Basketball League. This would be a local man named Romeo Blackman, also known as Odog. Odog grew up in the streets of Englewood and was always known as a feared bully in the area. So when he first showed up to the league, everyone was confused. Why do you want to be here? And of course, the Vaughn brothers knew his reputation very well. However, because they're kind-hearted, they decided to look past it and give him a chance. Well, right off the bat, Odog and the Goonies became good friends and they began hanging out all the time. Odog really took a liking to the Goonies as he saw them as the cool guys in Englewood who liked to have fun, and the Goonies found him to be a fun guy to be around as well. However, Odog was not the changed man that the Vaughn brothers thought. In fact, his true intentions were to turn the Goonies into a powerful gang in the streets of Englewood. Odog had an obsession with power and he was willing to do anything to get it. So essentially, joining the Goonies was his opportunity to climb the ranks and began telling everyone what to do. And by 2013, his plan came into works. He convinced the Vaughns to let him lead the Goonies, and this is how the madness started. His first step was recruiting his own members, ones that he could trust to be loyal and put in work. First, he recruited his right-hand man named DeMarco Bennett, also known as Marco. Marco happens to be King Vaughn's first cousin. Then he recruited his own cousin named Rashad Wells, also known as Tay Boog. Next would be a man named Terrence Smith, also known as T. T and Marco were two well-known steppers in Englewood, so this was a big deal. And after them would be another two steppers named Jolicious Turman and Lil Mo. Now this right here was a squad to be reckoned with, and the Vaughns had no idea what Odog created. At first they had no rivals, but Odog still wanted all the Goonies to carry a blick. And that takes us to January 10th, 2014. It's a cold Chicago winter day and Goonie member Big John is driving down South Racine Boulevard. As he's cruising, a Chicago police car gets behind him and hits the lights. So Big John pulls over and the officer asks to search the car. Inside the car, the officer finds a blicky, and just like that, Big John is arrested and booked into Cook County Jail. In the state of Illinois, this is a Class 4 felony, punishable by a minimum of 1 to 3 years. Of course, the Goonies were upset, but 1 to 3 years was not the end of the world. And just like that, one of the original Goonies was gone for the foreseeable future. Or maybe not. Within just 3 days, Big John was released from Cook County Jail. This surprised everyone and even made some members skeptical. Specifically, Odog was paranoid that Big John was a snitch. So to confirm his suspicions, he began asking fellow members what they thought. Big John's best friend named King Englewood told him to hold off and that he didn't snitch. On top of this, the Vaughn brothers all told him the same thing. There are all kinds of reasons a case can be dropped, and anyways, who did he snitch on? It made 0 sense, but Odog was a fiend for conflict. 1 week later, January 22nd, 2014. Odog texts Big John to tell him that they need to meet up and talk. So at 4 p.m, Odog pulls up to Big John's apartment. He then walks inside his building and meets him in the hallway. Together, they walk upstairs to his apartment, and that's when Odog makes a wild decision. This incident devastated the original Goonie Boss members. In their minds, this was completely unnecessary, especially without proof. The majority of original members were scared to speak up in fear of Odog. However, one original member had enough heart to speak up. This would be Big John's best friend, King Englewood. King approached Odog and told him that he was upset with his irrational decision. He told him that Big John was solid and that he made a terrible mistake. This was a bold decision, and Odog was furious. King Englewood was now on his list. March 21st, 2014. It's a Friday morning in Englewood, and King is outside on the block at 10:30 a.m. Specifically, he's hanging out in the alley a block down from Big John's apartment. Little does he know Odog is surfing around looking for him. Odog can't find him on Racine, but he knows that he's somewhere in the vicinity. At 10:40, he heads down West 70th and spots King Englewood outside. So he casually hops out of the car and walks down to the alley. He approaches King Englewood and without saying a word, King Englewood was a popular young man and the whole community was hurt. Neither him or Big John had done anything to warrant what Odog did to them. As you would expect, the Goonies and the Vaughn brothers were not happy about what he had done. However, they knew that they were no match for Odog and his boys, so they had to just go along. Odog was truly becoming the feared leader he wanted to be, and this was a scary sight.